Feature, we were in conversation with author Tebogo Hlongwane, and she was speaking to Simpiwa about her personal and raw life story that she shares in her latest book titled His Silence, My Story. You can also send us some of the books you are reading or have read, and by doing that you can find yourself joining us here live in studio for our Sunday book review feature, just to talk about some of your favorite books. All you have to do is drop us an email, check us out on Instagram, or tweet us a picture and relevant caption of your pick of the week, your must read for 2018, your current read, and the one you were hoping was going to be great but perhaps turned out to be rather disappointing. Use our social media platforms. We are at Morning Live SABC on Facebook and on Twitter, also on Instagram. We are at Morning Live SABC, but you can also drop us a mail, and that's morninglive@sabc.co.za. We look forward to hearing from you. African singer Dr Miriam Makeba, one of the greatest songstresses of all time, passed away on the 9th of November 2008 after collapsing as she left the stage following a performance in Italy. Widely known as Mama Africa, she has left behind several iconic songs and performances engraved in our memory. The icon spent much of her life inspiring with her music, recording and touring with popular artists. This year marks the 10th anniversary since the passing of the singer, and her granddaughter Zenzi Makeba and Lindelani Makeba, who is a great-grandchild of the late Mama Miriam Makeba, joined us now in studio to give us more details about what is planned to celebrate the life and times of our Mama Africa. It's lovely to have you guys in studio. Thank you so much for making the time to come today.
Thank you very much.
Zenzi, I'll start with you. I mean, Mama Africa, Mama Miriam Makeba, an icon who truly inspired so many people through her music, through her advocacy, through her music. As you reflect on her legacy, what are some of the things that come up for you?
The first thing I'd like to say is I'd like to say thank you to SABC Morning Live, to yourself, your colleagues, everyone here, for taking the time to invite us to celebrate, to commemorate Mama Makeba on this special month of her sad passing on 9 November 2008 in Castelvolturno, Italy. I thought that was important to say thank you. It means a lot to the family that we are able to celebrate with everyone. Going back to the question, what does Mama mean to me? First and foremost, she was a grandmother, like a grandmother. This is a difficult month, but it's been 10 years, but I'm happy to celebrate it with the people.
And for you, what are just some of the reflections that, when you think about her, looking beyond obviously the achievements and how much of herself she gave through her art, but just as a woman, as a great-grandmother, what are just some of your reflections that you'd like to share with us?
As a woman, I think she was one of the greatest examples anybody could look up to. She was very independent, extremely intelligent, and the kindest person you would meet. And I feel that's something all of us can take away from her. We can observe her, the way she lived her life, and find a little bit of her in ourselves.
And what do you think is the significance or the importance of keeping her memory alive and her spirit alive?
Well, keeping her memory and spirit alive is the same thing as keeping our memory and spirit alive, because she very much represents all of us. In many ways, she was the first of many things. And in that sense, the fact that she comes from our home, and in many ways she's all of our grandmother, it should stand as a sense of pride for each and every one of the Zen Africans and people of the world.
Zenzi, the official commemoration of her passing was yesterday, but I understand that there will be celebrations right up until March 2019, just to help us, go back and reflect on just what she's left us with. Tell us what is planned in terms of these celebrations that will be happening, or, throughout the months?
Let me let my son tell you.
Okay.
He's a much better speaker than I am.
Well, what we are doing right now is we've been planning screenings, free screenings of her movie throughout a few universities, just so that we could expose her a little bit more to the youth and they could rediscover her. But we are planning a little something for March. It's a bit of a surprise, but progressively we'll get more information and details.
And in Italy, because that's where, she passed, is there anything planned on that side?
Well, they have been having a few tributes and commemorations for her as well. We're still in discussions and everything, but perhaps there just might be something over there as well.
All right. And Zenzi, what do you think are just some of the most important things that you think we should all remember about Mama Miriam Makeba in just who she was?
Well, I think the first thing is to say that she was a great example to all of us. Personally, she taught me to love myself, to respect myself. She always said, if you don't love yourself and you don't respect yourself, you can't love or recognize it when it slaps you in the face. So I think she gave the values that any other grandmother, I'm sure your grandmother told you the same thing too. But for me, like I say, she was my grandmother first and foremost, like any other grandmother. I understand the gratitude of her being Miriam Makeba, the superstar that people refer to, but she was a people's person. She was for the people. She didn't name herself Mama Africa. She was given that name because she believed in people and humanity. She always said, "I'm not a politician. I merely sing the truth." In French, she said, "Je suis pas un politicien. Je ne chante que la vérité." She was part of the political scene in terms of what she did in 1963 and 1964. And throughout her life, she is a national icon and a national heritage, not only to our Republic of South Africa, but to our continent of Africa, to the African diaspora, and to the world at large. I'm just happy that we are commemorating her today on SABC Morning Live, and I'm very sensitive and emotional.
I can tell. I can tell that.
I'm happy to share my emotions with you, and I thank you for having us here.
And thank you for just being so raw and allowing us to have this moment with you. Thank you very much. And once again, we could never say it enough. Condolences for passing. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. Mama Miriam Makeba was the first African musician to become a true international star. Commemorations will be held from this November 2018 to March the 4th, 2019, building up to her birthday. Remember to share with us just some of your views and thoughts about this great giant of our time. You can do so via our social media platforms. Our Twitter handle is @MorningLiveSABC, and our Facebook page is also @MorningLiveSABC. Remember that WhatsApp line, you can send us a voice note. Just make sure that you keep it 30 seconds short, or you can send us a text message, and it is 081 732 8421. Time for a quick break. Do stay with us.
Hanover Park is known to be a playground for